Undrafted free agents and Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel's press conference. That's what we got going on today, so let's jump into it. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, I have about 12 undrafted free agents that the Miami Dolphins have signed. And Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer sat down for a post-draft press conference yesterday. I'm going to talk about it. We're not going to watch the video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I'm kind of got the transcript here. We're going to talk about some of their talking points. Found some interesting things in there. But before we jump into that, I have to shout out today's sponsor, and that is Manscaped.com. I'd like to thank Manscaped for being the sponsor of today's video. Now, if you didn't know, April is National Testicle Cancer Awareness Month. And yes, you know, obviously Manscaped and testicle cancer awareness is going to go hand in hand for obvious reasons. But they are teaming with the Testicle Cancer Society to help essentially put the awareness out there and the understanding of testicle cancer. And that is a very big thing, because if you didn't know this, and this blew my mind, right? One man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicle cancer. And it takes effective from age 15 to 35. And I'm turning 35. So it's something that I am taking very seriously. But again, Manscaped.com is partnering with Testicle Cancer Society for the month of April, starting from April 26th to May 22nd. And they're having this really cool new lawnmower 4.0. I'll pop it up. You'll see it has the cool purple design on it. That helps us to, you know, remind us essentially that every once in a while, you got to check the marbles to see if you got any lumps or anything down there. You know, they have that motto, we save balls. So this trimmer that is purple is a collector's edition, and there's only going to be 10,000 of them. So again, this promo is going to end on May 22nd. So if you do want to go out and grab yourself one, you have a limited amount of time to go out and grab yourself one of them. And with this new 4.0 purple trimmer, Manscaped.com is donating $50,000 to the Testicle Cancer Society to help fight and impact testicle cancer. So again, to purchase this new TCS Lawnmower 4.0 to support the cause, and for more information, you can perform simply routine checks and everything. You can visit this site, manscaped.com/TCS. And if you want to help support their mission to shave balls and save balls, learn more by going to manscaped.com/TCS or donate at testiclecancersociety.org. And obviously, if you want to grab yourself the Manscaped lawnmower, I think they have the t-shirts there. We save balls. You can go to manscaped.com, use the promo code TCSDDW, and you get yourself 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. So Manscaped, again, you guys are doing fantastic work with testicle cancer awareness, and you guys got some fantastic products. So again, if you want to go grab yourself some, get 20% off. Use the promo code TCSDDW. You get yourself 20% off and free shipping. So first, we're going to look at the undrafted free agents. There's about 3 in here that me personally, I'm very interested in. But we're going to talk about all 12 briefly, and then we're going to get into the press conference. This week, I have a lot. I'm starting a whole new series where I'm going to be comparing and ranking all of the positions in the AFC East. We have the camp position battles. What else do I have? Schedule releases on the 12th. We're going to be doing that. And then depth chart predictions. I'm going to be doing camp battle positions. I have so many videos, so many series going on this offseason. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. So let's jump into the undrafted free agents that the Dolphins brought in. So we have defensive back Elijah Hamilton from Louisiana Tech. We have defensive tackle Jordan Williams from Virginia Tech. Ty Clary from Arkansas. He's a guard/center. Running back, Saquandre White from South Carolina. Offensive lineman, Blaze Andries from Minnesota State. Defensive back, Verone McKinley III from Oregon. Defensive back, Cater Cahoe from Texas A&M Commerce. Offensive tackle, Kalen Deesh from Arizona. Punter Tom Harthley from Florida International. Wide receiver Tanner Connor from Idaho State. Defensive line Ben Still from Nebraska, and defensive line Ben Carney from Illinois. So that is 12 undrafted free agents going after the draft. The Miami Dolphins added 4 players. They were sitting at 74. We added the 12 undrafted free agents. You do the math, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. We're sitting at 86 players. You want 90 for camp, which means we have an open spot for 4 players. That's tomorrow's video. We're going to be talking about that in tomorrow's video. But let's look at these guys here, right? So the ones that really stick out to me is, first off, running back Saquandre White, South Carolina. A lot of people had him going the latest 6th round. It's a steal for the Dolphins to get him in being an undrafted free agent. He's 6 foot, 206 pounds. He's very elusive. He's got that stop on a dime movement, great acceleration, elite low level. He's got that flexibility. I think he's going to thrive in this offense. His negativity, right? Only 105 career carries, not many carries, and he's not great at pass protection. So you're not going to have him in there on 3rd downs. But again, a lot of people expected him to get drafted, and the fact that he didn't get drafted, he goes undrafted to the Miami Dolphins. We'll see. But I'm excited about that one. Another one I'm excited about from this list of 12 is the defensive back, Verone McKinley III. The reason why I'm excited, for one, he is a defensive back / safety. He could probably play all of them. But he was teammates with Javon Holland last year. So he was, not last year, but the year before, have that familiarity with Javon Holland. He's 5'10", 198 pounds. He's smart, right? He's kind of like Xavier Howard, and the aspect that he's always around the turnovers. He's small, right? He doesn't have a lot of speed. He's not a big speedy guy. So he's thought to be more of a slot corner or a special teamer. I think he's going to help this Dolphins secondary, especially because with a lot of the moves that we made, not bringing back certain corners, it seems like Nick Needle might be the slot corner. He might come in and compete for that slot corner position. The one, and I talked about this yesterday, the one that I love the most out of all of the undrafted free agents. Now, they didn't get his teammate West, right, the center, and I'm hearing the reason why he got undrafted and the reason why he wasn't picked up is he has really bad snapping issues, which we don't need any part of that. But that's Kellen Deesh, the offensive tackle out of Arizona. He was projected to be a 3rd round pick, and he goes undrafted to the Miami Dolphins. Now, I was about to get ahead of myself, but I will get back to what I was about to say. 6'7", 301 pounds. He is a 6th-year senior, so he's been playing for a hot minute, right? He's big. He's a big man, but he has small arms, 32¼ inches arms. So for being 6'7", you should have a little bit over 33-inch arms. He's got those short T-Rex arms, but he did run a 4.89 40. So I love it because he was projected to go super high. Dolphins bring him in. That is a huge competition at the right tackle position. Or could he be a competition at center? Now, we're going to get to the press conference where they do kind of talk about the center position, all that stuff. But the fact that he has short arms, 32¼ inch arms, are they going to have him compete at right tackle? You know, I don't know if he'll, and that's where Liam Eichenberg struggles. And maybe Liam Eichenberg's going to compete at that center position because he also has short arms for playing a tackle position, especially the blind side of our quarterback. But this guy, 6'7", he just needs to put a little bit of weight on to match that 6'7" frame. I'm 6'5", so this man is 2 inches taller than me. Just needs to put a little bit more weight on there. He does have the experience being a sixth-year senior, but again, I think the short arms is why he fell out of the draft. But a lot of people had him going third round, possibly. There's some other out there, you know, Elijah Hamilton, Louisiana Tech, 6'1", 111 pounds, ran a 4.56. Average ball skill, size, and speed. You have Jordan Williams, Virginia Tech, 6'5", 285. He was projected to be a seventh rounder. He's that quick penetrating type. Trying to see anybody else that I wrote down that was projected to go higher. Not really. The punter was interesting, Tom Heatherly, Florida International. He punted an average of 47.1, but I don't see him beating out Morstead. I think Morstead is going to be the starting punter there. So besides the ones I named, and Ron McKinley, Saquandre White, and Kalen Deesh, who do you like? Who are some of your undrafted free agents of the 12 that we brought in that maybe we should keep a closer look at? They could actually really do something and really help this team out. So that's what I got for you with the undrafted free agents. The thing I was talking about when I was talking about Kalen Deesh, and it kind of popped in my head, is Lindstrom went undrafted, and then the Dolphins didn't bring him in. His offensive line coach is our offensive line coach. That must say something if Applebaum's like, leave Lindstrom alone. That must say something there. Because I noticed that, you know, West and Lindstrom were kind of the centers that I wanted the Dolphins to take in the seventh round. Then obviously they went in different directions. And they both went undrafted. So we'll see. But like I said, comment below. Let me know what you guys think of the undrafted free agents we brought in. Let's jump to this press conference with Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. Again, I'm not going to play the video if you want to watch the full thing, and it was a great interaction. I will say this. They were joking about In-N-Out Burger. They were joking about a lot of things. It was just different. You just saw a difference with Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier. Is it good? Is it bad? We don't know yet. But go watch the video. I'm only going to pick out a few things that I noticed was interesting from the transcript. So one of the things they asked, and I think this was a thing that a lot of us were interested in, one of them said, Teddy, you had 3 picks. Again, they were talking about the other day. You started off getting wide receiver Eric Azukoma. Wide receiver probably wasn't at the top of your need, but what was the case? Was that the case of best player available? What did you see with him and his fit here? So a lot of people were asking, you know, even I was asking him with the wide receiver. There's offensive linemen there. There was other positions that the Dolphins needed versus wide receiver. He said, yeah, I think with us, we always go down the board, always take the best player available. We got to that pick. He was a player we had talked about, and he visited with him, spent some time. Wes Welker worked him out, another Tech guy. Went there. He was on Mike from day one about getting a Red Raider receiver in here. Chuckles about that. We dealt with Wes all spring, talking him up. I couldn't get that out. We had a good workout with him. We had a private workout with him as well. He did a nice job for us. We got to know him. He was the kind of player that fit our profile. That's what we're looking for. A good kid, tough, catches the ball well. He blocks, runs after the catch, and things. So essentially, when I talked about this, I think in the other day's live stream, where how it works, because when you guys asked me, is it just up to Chris Grier or Mike McDaniel? All of the assistants kind of throw their hat in on certain players. You had Wes Welker meet with him, another Texas guy. Mike McDaniel liked him, was banging the table for him since the spring. It's the spring now. From day one, he said. So it seemed like they really liked this guy and really liked the way he fit. And again, it was there. He was probably higher on their board than a lot of us thought of Wes and Lindstrom, who fell out of the draft. So it makes sense. Again, just to reiterate, never hated the player, just the pick confused me. They asked him about Chris Grier, about the offensive line, right? Not too long ago, you talked about bringing competition at the center guard position. Did you try to trade back or trade up and all that stuff? He said, yeah, we want competition at every position. We do have some competition with the offensive line group as we've gone through here in the spring with Mike, and the coaching staff has been very excited about the group. That has been the fun part about working with these guys here, is they've talked about it all spring, and they're getting on the field with them recently. They're really excited about it. With us, all the draft, yeah, we were trying to look at every position, but we followed our board. We don't reach for people. We don't try and move up a couple times. We did try and move up a couple of times, but we had limited resources in terms of being able to move around. As we said before, just because the draft is over doesn't mean we are going to stop looking at improving the roster. We'll keep working through that all spring and through this summer. Again, this is going to be probably for tomorrow's video, but they have 4 spots open and available. I'm going to talk about some free agents the Dolphins are probably going to try to bring in, but they had 4 draft picks, a third, a fourth, and 2 sevenths. And they don't want to touch next year's. Next year's draft has a lot more talent than this year's draft did. So I bet you the Dolphins did not want to touch next year's draft, so that's why they didn't try to trade up, because they probably would have had to throw in next year's 3 or 2 or whatever, some type of compensation to move up to a spot where they could have got Luke Fortner, who we all wanted, and all that stuff. But his saying of, we're not done, makes a lot of sense. And he also talks about they're not reaching, makes a lot of sense. Again, we have this thought process on, oh, I like this guy, this guy, this guy. They're the pros, they're the professionals. They're probably like a complete left field, like, oh, we actually see this guy as a bigger talent than so-and-so. And for the most part, they were right. Because, again, no one had the Dolphins taking a wide receiver in the 4th round, especially Eric. A lot of us were sitting on draft day thinking, take Wes, take Lindstrom, take, Zach Tom, take somebody. They went with their guy, and the other 2 that I especially was talking about didn't get drafted. So talk about taking the quarterback, right? 7th round, very last pick. They take the quarterback, Skyler. They asked Chris Greer about that. He says, yeah, I think going through the process here, we all kind of seen him over the years. It seems like every year Kansas State pulls a big upset over someone, and he has a game that people end up talking about. He's a competitive kid that's smart, tough. He's got some athletic ability. I always appreciate how he played and how their coaches and people around him talked about the character and the person. And Mike jumps in and says, yeah, you're excited when you turn on the tape and you see a guy with passion play the position of quarterback. You could feel his command and his competitiveness. And that's something that the entire team benefits from, because you're touching the ball all the time and making the decision. Somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who on Twitter said this, and I apologize if you did say this on Twitter. Let me know in the comment section. If he does pan out to be something good, something usable, that's a cheap backup option. Because if you notice, for the past couple of years, our backup quarterbacks have been costing us $5 to $10 million a year. He won't cost that much. Say, he's very reliable, very, serviceable. Tua has a fantastic year. He got a very good backup for cheap. Tua has a horrible year. Obviously, we probably aren't going to try to stick with the 7th round unless he blows us out of the water, but you still have that cheap, reliable backup. So, thought on that. This I found interesting, right? They asked Greer, they said, Chris, you were asked about centers, and I'm curious about the running back position. Obviously, you have quality running backs on the roster. I'm curious if there was a running back or 2 that you and head coach Mike McDaniel and the other coaches liked in the 3rd or 4th round range that would have been an option had it broke differently. This is what I find interesting. He says that, yeah, there was one guy that we kind of targeted a little bit, and Mike fell out of his chair when he got picked by somebody. Mike chimes in and says, I was composed, laughing. Again, go watch the video, different atmosphere. I was a professional. I was convinced that I was internalizing it all. And then they asked him, the 49ers got a back, right? Was he from Arizona? The 49ers drafted a running back. I don't know. We focused on our pick. But I'm hearing that the running back that made him fall out of his chair was Rachaad White. Supposedly, they wanted Arizona State running back Rachaad White, who went to the Buccaneers 91 overall in the 3rd round. Essentially, the Dolphins were picking at 102. So it was about 11 picks later. They were hoping he would be there. He wasn't there, and made him sad. So they might have taken a running back first instead of taking the linebacker that they took. Like I said, go watch the full interview. It's about think 18-minute press conference with Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer. It's a great press conference. And again, they're constantly laughing, having a good time, just a different atmosphere. Go check it out. But like I said, I have a lot of videos planned. I have about 2 or 3 series where they're going to be about 10 or so, maybe 20 or so videos in that series throughout all of the offseason, ranking the AFC East positions, then position camp battles, and then what else did I got? Depth chart prediction. We're going to be looking at the schedule. It's so much. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be looking at potential free agents that the Miami Dolphins are going to fill in because they have 4 open spots. But like usual, guys, stay classy and fins up.